So reports and dashboard. What is reports and dashboard? Why it is important? So Salesforce stores a lot of data, right? And from data, you can do a mining of data, and you can do an analysis. Through analysis of data, you can see, and through normal data, you can find out what is going wrong, what is looking good, what needs to be improved. So when on the whole data, you want to do a grouping, slicing, and dicing of code, understanding of the data, grouping, and basically presenting it together, some is summarizing stuff and so on, then you have a better picture of your business. And the salespeople can also understand where to improve things. The service people can understand how the customer's data is looking like, and what needs to be taken care of, what is the pain point for the customer, and so on. So reports and dashboard is that's why not only can be created by admins, but it can be also created by common users also. Standard users can also create reports and dashboards. That is the reason uh, admins always work inside setup, right? We always go and work inside setup. But reports and dashboards, since it can be done by the standard users also, it is not inside setup. It is outside, just like a normal tab. Okay. So what is a report? Report is basically a representation of data. That is a tabular. There can be many types of reports. There are, first type of report is called tabular report. What is a tabular report? Tabular report is just when you are seeing the data, table form, right?
Table format. Yes, sir.
There is a header and everything. There is a columns. These columns can come from one object. If it is coming from one object itself, then a tabular report is exactly similar to a list view, right? A list view is also same, isn't it? If you go to the account landing page and you select any list, that is also a tabular chart, right? Or tabular representation of data. So if it is only one object involved, then a list view and probably a report is same. There is no difference. You see the same data. You can select whatever columns you want. You can put a filter. A list view is basically a one object tabular report. Think about that. So it is easy to make. That is used in the landing page. But report, you can create a separate report also. We can go and see that. But in Salesforce, you can create a report from maximum what happened? Give me one second. My pencil battery has died. Okay, so I will show it in Excel sheet by the time this gets shared. So think about a report like this. So report is column 1, column 2, right? I can have, and there can be different data, right? In yeah. So this is a normal tabular report, wherein here is the header. And these are the different rows which are of this is coming from maximum. How what kind of different kinds of reports are possible? Tabular, which is basically a table format representation of the data, right? Simple table form representation. If think about one of this column as a numeric column, so something like this. If this is a numeric column, what you can do is that you can total it like this. So then you are doing a summarization, right? The sum that is happening on all these rows. So when you summarize a column and you summarize it on the rows, so this is summarizing the rows, right? All this, the column value of all the rows has been summarized. Then that is called a summary report. Okay. So when you summarize any column or multiple columns can also be summarized row wise, in that case it is called a summary report. So tabular report is the basic form of report. If you start summarizing the reports, it becomes a summary report. Now if think about this also, and this can be grouped also, right? Think about this one. If that is the case and you also group it based on the columns, that is called a matrix report. So when you are grouping based on rows, it is summary. When you are grouping based on rows and columns both, then it is matrix. Okay. And then there is a joint report also, which is advanced report form, which is basically bringing two reports together. Any report can have maximum 3 objects. So this table can be created using 3 objects. Think about a table which is like account with contacts, something of that sort. So that means there are 2 objects, account and contact both. This you cannot create in a list view, right? Because you need the columns of contacts as well as the columns of accounts to put together in a report. That is only possible. So now let's see how the report works. You see, reports and dashboards are outside. As I said, it is not inside status, as a setup, because setup is only for admins. Reports and dashboards can be done by admins as well as it can be also created by common users. Before we create any report, it is very important for you to realize that you will not be able to create a report if enable reports is not ticked. Okay, so it is very important that if you're creating a custom object, is there any custom object here? Not yet. Let's create a custom object. Application. You see, allow reports is here. This has to be ticked. Otherwise, you will not be able to create a report because there is no report type. So first thing is that report type every object must have a report type. So think about a report now. If you want to create a new report on application object, no results, right? Nothing it is finding. But if I go and allow reports and go back and create new reports once again. See, now application is coming. You can create a report now on application object. How many fields are there? Only one field is there. Application name is there. So you can create a report. You can also put a application ID with it. Yeah. So think about this one. Let's create some more fields. You can create reports on any object. So here, if you see the reports, applications, it is a standalone object. It is not linked to anything else. So it is the report having multiple objects is not possible. But if I put a relationship with maybe a contact object, so I am creating a lookup of contact in application object. Now, if I go and into the reports, search with, see, application with contact. So automatically, two objects are getting used in this report. Now, I can build a report where I can use the contacts columns also here. Yeah, the application name, first name, last name. So I have a report now which has one column coming from application, the two columns coming from other objects, right? So now I do not have data. Let's put some data here. So this object is new for me. If I run a report on any table which has already data, think about opportunity. Opportunity has a lot of data. Opportunity is a child of account, right? So I can have many data wherein I can have reports with anything else. So let's talk about opportunity. You see, this is the opportunity. By default, if I run this, save and run, I see my opportunities. And this folder is absolutely critical. This folder is quite similar to like Google folder, Google Drive folder. So if you put your files inside a Google Drive shared folder, then other people can see it. But if you are not sharing that folder, then nobody else can use this report. So a admin will usually go and save it in a public folder, so that this report can now be used by any user. Now, it is important for, and how will I get that report? Let's see. See, now this is the report, and you can remove some fields directly on the report itself. That will also save it. Or you can go to the edit mode and you can make changes here. Maybe opportunity owner is not needed. You can remove the column here also. Created date, closed date, next step, lead source. Yeah. So you can make changes here, save and run, and that will impact the report also. So this is the report, right? Here, if you go back to the edit mode, you will see that this is a tabular report with data, and you can save it. So when you go to reports, you will see this is all reports. You go and you will see that my opportunity reports. Now this report can be opened by anybody. Any user who is logging in can click on my reports and they can
they can see the report. You can put any filters on this report also. You see, not right now there are filters is all opportunities, and you can say this current date will be all time, so I can see all the time, and you can put your own filters, and that will be contextual. Why contextual? Based on the full filter you have, every user, based on what permission record level security they have, the same report will give them different results. Think about opportunity OWD is set to private. In that case, when you run your this report, you will see only the records which is owned by you, right? The other users will only see the records owned by them. So the record level security is applicable on the report, and report is dynamic. Fresh data always picked up when the report is run. Okay, report does not store any data into database. So report runs and fetches the data and shows it to you. Clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Now, what we can do is that, you see, we can like summarize this report now based on the stage. If I summarize this report, you see, let us group rows. You see, there are a grouping of rows is required. So if I group row based on stage, and here this amount field I want to summarize sum. Now see, it looks like this. Here a lot of things has happened now. You see, I can remove these items so that it looks a little easier. So if I remove this detailed row, you see, now I understand it perfectly well, right? What is happening? All the opportunities which are in prospecting stage, what is the sum of the amount which they have? You see, how many opportunities are there? 2 opportunities. Here 19 opportunities are closed. All put together, sum is this. Here, by seeing this report, a salesman or on a company executive can easily understand how much money is still in pipeline and how many money are working. Isn't it very beneficial? Similarly, you see, the chart is also now activated. Before that, the chart was not there. So if I now use it to see this in a chart format, I can easily see this. I can choose any chart format. I go here, I can see a donut. Is my favorite. Yeah, you see, this how much amount is this? So all comprises it.
It's a type of
Pie
pie diagram.
diagram. Yeah. So there can be different charts. You can play around with this, and you say that how do I see this? How in what format I want to see this? Yeah, based on that. So I think donut would be the best one. Anyway, so this is a summary report. Now, a summary report allows charts. A tabular report does not have charts because you cannot chart out things, right? Because you have not. In Excel world, we call this pivot tables, right? When you summarize table, you create a pivot table, right? In Excel, those who know Excel very well, they know what is a pivot table. You can create pivot tables. Okay, let's go back to our now. Here, let's bring the lead. No, let's bring back the detail once again. And you can group based on multiple things. You can say that let's group the amounts based on stage and then also probability percentage, something of that. Multiple columns can also be used for grouping. Okay, you can go here and group rows by this field. You can do that here also. You don't have to go in the edit mode. Now but I don't want to group multiple fields of rows. Now I want to group columns. Let's group it by type. Save and run. When we do this one, and I delete the detailed rows, now see what has happened. A totaling is also coming here. And there are three kinds of types: upgrade, replacement, new customer. So if I now remove the record count, it becomes a little cleaner and easier to understand. You see, opportunity in prospecting stage, but opportunity, how much amount is there in the each of these categories. You see which opportunities are there in the that category. It is also showing up. Here two opportunities are there in this category. So it is now grouped by rows and by columns also, because here now I am looking into that and it is giving me total picture, right? So this is a matrix report, and this matrix report, basically the details of the rows shows up down below. Here it is showing up. This the stage is this one is grouped. It's grouped by stage, which is row wise grouping, and type is grouped by columns. So it is on this side, and is we are also having a total for that. Okay, and this of course has the same thing. So reports is very clear. Reports is dynamic. Reports is actual data which is fetched instantly when you run the report, and report can be contextual. Report will be contextual. So every login user will see a different report based on whatever record level permissions they have. Yeah. What if I want to send this report, run this report every morning in the morning and send it to different people, so that they don't even need to log into Salesforce. They have that in the mailbox. Immediately they see the report, get to work. Right? Becomes so easy. For this, you need this subscribe button. And then you can schedule a report. You can say that I want to run this report daily at this time and send it to different people. All must be users of Salesforce. Yeah, here these are all user names, right? So I will choose users or roles who will be recipients, right? Now run report as, this is very important. Why are we using run report as? It's a running user, as they are saying in report terminology. What is a running user? When you schedule a report or subscribe on a report, whose data you are going to send to people? As I said, right, every user who is logging in will see a report data differently based on their role and rights permission. So when it is virtually running, you are running that report on the context of some user. That user is who? That we can define here. Usually if you are creating a report and you want to run that on a system admin credential, so that there is no data, the data is consistent and data is same for everybody. So run a report as me, and I am probably system administrator, or I can ask like I am running on behalf of a manager. So manager's report will be shared to everybody. Are you getting this point? But running this means this is not dynamic anymore. Then that is like taking a snapshot, taking a picture of that report and sending it to everybody, right? So that is exactly what a report running user is all about. So this big report becomes static, and that screenshot is basically shared to everybody. Okay. Now let us talk about dashboard. What is a dashboard? Have you ever heard about dashboard in outside Salesforce? Anybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. मतलब वो phone.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Where have you heard about dashboard?
Like on day-to-day basis, we see uh, many multiple apps. Those are basically shows dashboards
No,
only.
no, I'm not talking software at all. Forget software. In real life, have you heard about the term dashboard anywhere? Anybody has a bike or a car?
Yes.
Have you heard about a dashboard in a bike or a car?
Yeah, yes. In the car,
Where is the dashboard?
in the front, like
Just on the steering. If
yeah.
just behind the steering.
Yes.
If you're on a bike, then it is just behind your handles. A small area wherein it is showing the speed on which you are traveling. How much fuel is there in your car or your bike, right? Or indicators. Everything is put in a small
Yes.
piece which you can look at, and that is called a dashboard. Forget software industry for a while. So what is the benefit of a dashboard? If that was not there, what would have happened? Any problems running your car or running your bike without a dashboard?
Yes, sir. Obviously.
It
That
gives us a
very
summarized, detailed picture of
Yeah, but what
what
is the benefit? What is the purpose? If that was not there,
Mhm.
what would have gone wrong, or why that is crucial, or do you think it is at all crucial, or just nice to have feature?
No, it's crucial because at the time, like in terms of car and bike, you need to have there's some indicators to show you that if there is a petrol low or some sort of
Yes.
thing.
Yes. So if that is not showing up, like if you do not know at what speed are you going, then you will get a road ticket. Either the police will catch you, or probably you will meet an accident, probably because you did not understand that you are going very fast, isn't it? Then fuel, if you do not know what is the status of your fuel, in the middle of the road, your car will stop and you will not be able to move anywhere, right? So
yes,
you
sir.
do not know the health of your vehicle if these indicators are not displayed to you. Exactly, that is the work of a dashboard in software industry. So if I create a new dashboard, can I say my dashboard? And I can have a private dashboard and a public dashboard, same story as a report. If I create a public dashboard, then that dashboard can be utilized or can be seen, can be used by other people. I create a public dashboard. Here I can put components. If you see, these components are charts of reports. Which report I created? All reports. My opportunity report I created. Right? Let's select that. I can use the chart of this report itself, or I can create my own chart also. You see, I have put a report. I can have multiple charts from multiple reports or multiple charts from the same report also. Whatever, it depends on mine. I'm using the same opportunity report also. Done. I want to save it. Here, if I now go to dashboard, I will see there is a dashboard I have created. This dashboard is public, so it is visible to everybody. Everybody can see that. And you can see the indicators of your whole organization. Isn't it? This will give you immediately pictorial representation of what is happening in your organization. Individually, you do not have to go to each reports and find out. You can see more than one report with a graphical representation in one screen. Then this report is very crucial for executive board members of a company who are in senior positions, who need data to look at immediately to take decisions. Why is your, if I give a 10-pager document to you, which a report is usually, are you able to take a decision? You cannot take quick decisions if the data is not present in a graphical form for you to look at, to make sense out of it. To quickly take decisions, you need a screen like this, a chart like this, which can point out what is going right, what is going wrong. Immediately you can decide, right? In a dashboard in car, you can immediately look and see what is the speed in which I'm going. I can correct myself. If the fuel is not there, I can immediately go to the gas station and get it refilled. So I need the information right within a second. I can take a decision based on looking at that data. So that is the whole stuff. By default, dashboard is static. Okay, dashboard is not dynamic by default. So this dashboard is basically like this storing the data, and you can refresh this data if you want. But by default, this dashboard is basically storing the data from the reports. And if you go and edit it, you can view dashboard as, if you can put, if you go to the report and you go to that report, you see that viewing as on image panel, right? Now, if this dashboard is created by one user and he has made it public, so everybody will see his data. Okay, all people will see my data if I have created the dashboard. So creator of a dashboard, usually his data is shown to everybody. But I can also change, when creating a dashboard, I can also show the data of another person, not my data. Or I can ask that let the data change based on who is logging in.
Sir, here view dashboard as means who can see our dashboards? Me, another person.
View dashboard as. That means whose data are you seeing? Whose dashboard are you seeing? View dashboard as means it's me. My data will be stored in this dashboard. Everybody who is logging into this dashboard will see this data, my data. What I can see, I can show it to other people.
Okay, sir.
The dashboard is a quick mechanism in which I can show what I am looking at to all people. Okay.
Okay.
Or I can ask, I will show the data of another person to all people. That is this one. But I can say that only people who are logging in should see their own data, just like how report works, right? Report is just contextual. Only person who has access to that records will only see that records, right? So that also I can make this one. If I make this becomes a dynamic dashboard. Okay, that means only the user who is logging in will see his data. And you can also allow people to change that login. So if I do this, save it, go to dashboard. So you can change this. I can change and I can check how the other user's data is, right? So this is dynamic dashboard. Dynamic dashboard cannot be sent to people. Okay, but if it is a static dashboard, which is me or another person, then you can also mail this, just like reports. And here you do not need, this is a subscribe button. Here you do not need a running user, because dashboard is already, the creator of the dashboard is already the running user. So here you just give the recipient and you send it. Clear? You can change your home and you can bring, you see, edit page. and sometimes you can put dashboard, and you can, and so now you see that dashboard is now opening up when you log in. Immediately on the home page, that dashboard will show up. So beneficial, right?
Yes, sir.
So that is the whole job, to represent data to your end customers. So dashboard data is static by default. Report is always dynamic. Dashboard can be made dynamic. All these questions are resolved. So start creating records, start creating reports, play around with dashboards. Very, very nice and exciting stuff. Do whatever you want to do with reports and dashboard. Fun area. And it's a wonderful experience working on reports and dashboard. That is all for today's session. If there is no further questions, then please start practicing, and then I think
Okay,
next
sir.
class we will wrap up the admin part.
Okay.
Next class we will do cases, case management. Till now we have seen how a salesman works. The next class we will see how a service person works, how he uses Salesforce. Exciting
Yes,
stuff.
sir. Okay, sir. Sir, you have said that you will send us some videos about programming, coding, sir.
Okay, I will send that. I will
Okay, sir.
send the Salesforce develop. I thought I sent it already. I didn't.
No,
No,
sir, you
no, sir.
haven't sent it yet.
Give me 1 second. Let me do it right away. Do you know about this channel?
Yes, sir. Bong bong.
Yeah. So
Definitely, sir.
this is the, go through this one. So this will help you out. Start preparing for your development. Sorry, not this.
So there are communities can be of community licenses can be 3 types.
These are the 7 videos. Okay. And today's session, I will stop recording now.
Okay,